It's your man, Ender Wood, coming back to you. I know you guys haven't had a video from me in over a week now. My computer, the computer that I'm doing this from right now, you understand, has been, had to be shipped all the way to California. They had to ship a box to me, and I shipped the computer back to them. Then they shipped the computer back to me. Ridiculous, I say. They have like 6 things wrong with it. Almost a brand new computer. I bought it just over a month before I had to ship it back to them. I guess they put me out of this computer for about 11 days, 12 days, something like that. That's why I haven't put a video out. I put like two other videos out using my old computer. It's like a thrift store finds thing. And a guy won a contest from Unknown for Lore. So I always want to put that stuff up and show it off. But I really don't like the quality of those videos. You know, on this, they're going to come out better. And I'd just rather wait and go with that. Now, in the interim, in the time that I was gone, I've gone up over 300 subscribers. So big thanks to all you guys for subscribing, for putting up with my foolishness, for the comments, for the likes, for the views. I appreciate all of them, you know, particularly the comments, you know, when we can get it rolling back and forth and get that game conversation going and carrying over. And even if it goes over, you know, into other videos, video responses, I love. Feel free to always respond into my videos. And, you know, I'm trying to... There's been a couple good things I saw when I was gone that I actually would like to get some video response of my own out to some more people. And I'm going to see how many of these videos I can pump out tonight, you understand? But yeah, 318 subscribers as of last time I looked. So big thanks to everyone for that. I'm actually thinking if I get to 500 subscribers, doing a giveaway contest or something on my own on this channel. So, you know, guys, thanks. For that, I do appreciate it. And I have 2 channels I wanted to plug. eWeave20. He also his stage name is Gelatinous Tube, and he does this weird little gimmick, like he pinches his face up and talks. He's actually quite funny. So you should check eWeave20 Gelatinous Tube out. Definitely check that man's channel out. I would love to. He'd been doing it for a little while. I'd love to give him a plug earlier, but I think he started on videos about the time I went down. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. Not trying to say anything, but you know. And also, WWE Superstar The Big Show is putting out videos under the title of Raging Demons RPGs. You should check Paul White out, and you know, I mean, that's a former champion right there. So the fact that he's taking time out of his busy schedule to put out some RPG videos is greatly appreciated, and he has some really good stuff. I absolutely hate the game of Rifts, but I somehow was able to get through four videos, and they're long too, like 25-minute long videos on Rifts on the character. I watched all of them, and you did a good job with those, man. Like, I actually watched all of them, and I really hate Rifts. I think it's just absolutely terrible. But now that I've rambled on for like 45 minutes here, I actually would like to get to the point of what this video is going to be about. And what I like to talk about is producing your character, and that's something I really don't see people do all that much. They're like, okay, they build a character, they build a history, they understand what the character is, they get deep into role playing, they bring that depths of personality to the character. But a lot of times people don't think about what they're going to get over with that character in that session of the game. Now, if we watch a television show, you know, we'll see a main character, and through that particular episode, particularly early on, the first couple of episodes, they really want to get certain things over about that character. They might be like, you know, really, with like maybe the first episode, they build it up as like, oh, yeah, that's a normal guy. And the second episode, they hit a twist. You're like, oh, that guy's a complete bastard. But then they flip it around, and you see why he's like that. And you're like, oh, now I can kind of get with that guy. And I like to take my characters through that sort of experience and really personify certain traits so it gets over to the game master, gets over to the other players, and I come that very consciously of that. And I think of ways that I can use that character, particularly for those first maybe 8 game sessions where you're experiencing and establishing that character identity, but it can still be applied later down the line to really firmly have a goal of, okay, 1 or 2 things that I have to show off in some form or fashion in this game session. Not, okay, I know how to play my character, here's my character, I'm going to go for it and play him. But you really want to get over, you know, that your character maybe has this soft side for animals or for children or something, and you make sure you find a way you can illustrate that through the game, that game session. Or, you know, you might find you try to get over a certain derangement your character has, you know, some sort of mental illness or a paranoia that this character possesses, or perhaps his his greediness. You try game session 1, you're really pounding how greedy the character is, but then in game session 2, like you could kind of flip that and then sort of highlight a really nice aspect. This guy's really greedy for money, but then we flip and we highlight a redeemable aspect of the character. So when you have that juxtaposition of virtue and vice, it could really make for more interesting interplay in a character. So it's not just black or white. You know, you have that more believability. And then maybe the third game session, you know, in the second game session, you're still producing a little bit in terms of being greedy, but now we show a twist. And you sort of pre-plot these things in your mind going in, and you just sit there and you look for your openings, and you keep that consciously in your mind, and you go, okay, I want to make sure I'm going to get these points over regardless of what else is going on, but I don't have to get over in way A, B, or C. You know, I'm going to get it in where I can fit it in, but, you know, if you're a proactive player, you can always find a way to fit in any sort of aspect of your character pretty much anywhere. So that's really what I'm trying to talk about here, is the conscious choice to try to illustrate certain characteristics of your character's personality. Whether, you know, that character, you know, is very giving, very much a self-sacrificer, or you know, the character is very shrewd, very worldly, particularly naive, whatever sort of character traits they are, and making sure you get them over in a game, and then have other game sessions where you're illustrating other things, and then sort of take them together, these traits, and tie them back together very consciously. Not just, okay, I've designed my character and what comes out flows out, but this is, you know, the way that you're going to see a television show, for example. They're going to make sure in that installment of time, and whatever your installment of time is for how long you're playing, that you're hitting those points hard, you know, bullet points that you want to make sure you get over. Okay, this is my bullet point. I'm going to work it in where I can to make sure that I'm showing off the reality behind this character, to make it more fleshed out, and maybe even seeming to have, you know, that one dimension at first, and then when you show something else off, you know, other players are like, oh, well, that's all, and then you throw something else in there in the second game, and then you can really captivate and go, ooh, okay, we thought just this, and now there's also this, but then you tie the other thing in, so it doesn't just look like you've just randomly decided to do different stuff. You know, and in terms of making sure that you're highlighting these different points, and you can produce that same sort of characteristic in game 1, and then over here in game 4 you bring it back and make sure you're re-portraying that, so that that particular characteristic is highlighted. And as you build that up through the story, you know, you really start building in a weave of what your character is, and you're also making sure those points and personality traits that you kind of came up in the beginning are all getting over. They're all being pushed out, so that everyone else, the game master, the other players, can see this sort of diversity of life that's coming from the character that you're playing through these production points. This is what I do with all my characters, and I find that I get really good responses, particularly a few game sessions in, because I can come up with very valid reasons for why, okay, this guy is doing whatever sort of adventuring it is, or whatever sort of investigation, or whatever sort of political maneuverings, depending on what sort of game it is, and it sort of gives a greater degree to the traits that I've put together, because I'm consciously making sure that I integrate them in. This might sound like really simple, but it's something I really don't see people do very often. I see more the sort of play as play can style, get it in where it fits in, instead of them making sure you get your piece in there. So, you know, I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts, if you are an active producer of your characters, if you're just more of the passive style, if my ramblings here actually even made any sense, me getting my rust off, getting back into the RPG videos. So that's what I had to talk about. I'd like to hear you guys' responses and thoughts on that in terms of a play style. Thanks, guys. Bye.